everyone, and welcome to Bronyville. This is Bronyville, episode number 72, recorded on September 15th, 2012. I am your host, Apple Cider. Hello. Glad to have all of you listening in, whether you are live on the Justin TV / Bronyville podcast stream right now, or if you are listening to this on whatever podcast audio device or on Celestia Radio. Great to have you all. Great to have you listening, and we love you every week for dialing in. There is no chefers this week. I'll do a roll call. Chef? No chef. He's out taking care of some family things. So we have a guest host with us this week of Celestia Radio, the man in charge over there. Hello, DJ Shamrock.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Shamrock of Celestia Radio, and you may be hearing us on Celestia Radio at some point. So,
oh, how odd will that be? Talking
how
about
odd that will be.
Yeah,
yes.
Talking about the network that this is going to be airing on Tuesdays. Let me scroll down. I actually have the exact time. Tuesdays at...
It's at 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time, which is 6 Eastern.
And 3 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. UTC. I got it all covered.
There you go.
For all those, all the different places. No clue if you're Australian. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to just figure that one out.
One of our guys, Cider's Australian. He'd be able to figure it out at some point.
Quantum math is like, it's 4 a.m. Something like that.
Yeah, right.
All right. Our guest this week, we have pulled back in some of the Bronies for Good guys. We have returning champ Master Tortilla.
Hello.
He's on his laptop mic after some little bit of tomfoolery with his other microphone.
Yeah, I had a fun time with that.
And I'm trying to remember, Rommel, did we have you on previously? I believe it was just Cuppity Cakes.
No, I was there.
Okay. There. All right. I forget. Sometimes the big groups, it gets so large and everything. So, all right, cool. So we got you guys both on. Shamrock is the only newbie to the show, in so much that No. Shamrock wasn't on the Lost episode. This is the first time we've had him on.
Yeah.
So
about that.
So he's totally. So yeah, he still has to do like one cool things and add everything to the list. So we'll be
I've got one actually. So it's going on there in just a sec.
Okay then. Well, since Tortilla and Rommel both know how this goes, I will go ahead and start down here. DJ, I have to know favorite character and favorite episode.
All right. Well, favorite character, got to give it up to Rainbow Dash. She's my gal, mostly because my personality and her personality happen to match pretty well. But and then favorite episode, I think it was Rommel put a great one on there. I think it was Rommel. It was either that or Tortilla. But Canalot Wedding, I have to go with just because of the music. That's really one of the main reasons why. So.
It's a good episode. It's or good 2 episodes, pretty much. I mean,
it's a solid 2-parter. It's out of the 3 2-parters, I think it's the best 2-parter. I think it's a solid one.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I do have to say the beginning is a little slow, but I mean once it's just like, oh hey, crazy bug lady showed up. It's like, crap.
It's like scary, like. You know, you get to that part like during the song and stuff, and when like Twilight gets taken down to hell in this flaming ring of fire, and you're like, holy you're like, God, this would scare little kids. Like, what's going on right now?
I was completely saying like it was a 2-parter, and I had the scenario of just like, if they had decided to actually cut that up and have it in 2 weeks, just that 1 week of the fandom going completely insane. Just absolutely, we would lose our mind. Fanfics would just be like, ah! Like you would,
and
you
would
would
all
just
be wrong too.
Yeah. Everybody, single body would just be like, I don't. Where'd she? It would be like it would be like the like crazy amount of like insane guessing that people had during Lost of just like, oh God, what?
Yep.
The smoke monster is this? You know, something like that.
Yeah.
So, all right, super cool. All right, Tortilla, Master Tortilla, actually. Let's see. Favorite character, favorite episode.
Very biasedly, Princess Luna. because you just can't get more fabulous in Maine. And on that note, Nightmare Night, because that was just adorable. You can't get more geekily adorable unless maybe you're Twilight.
Mm-hmm. That was that is my favorite episode as well. So I love Halloween, and yep.
It's such it was such, that one was my close second, because if I had a new Brony or a new person I wanted to introduce to ponies, that's the episode I would use. Of any of the episodes, that's the one. I feel like it's the best in terms of getting new people.
It is a pretty good starter episode.
Yeah, either that or Sonic Rainboom, I'd say. Yeah. Probably those two I'd use. I'm not sure I would use like the wedding is fine. I'm not sure that conveys everything, but it definitely gets
really
the sense
doesn't.
of, yeah.
No.
And I even brought up earlier of just like, would the season 2 starter work well? And like, no, actually it doesn't. So
none of the 2-parters really would do justice to that.
Mm-hmm.
That Nightmare Night episode has so much just stuff, and it's so great. Like, just people who don't know what the hell's going on, because it's a Halloween episode. It doesn't like the canon isn't really that too involved, So
yeah, the only thing you're missing is lack of white pony. So
yeah,
indeed.
Yep. Okay. And Rommel, looks like you're making double duty on this. Favorite character, favorite episode.
Pretty much what Master Tortilla said, because Master Tortilla has wonderful taste. I have to say it's Princess Luna, and for me, for why I like her more as a character is just because of her personality. It really resonates with me, and just kind of that that like dominating and just very like upfront, direct, confrontational attitude, but yet this like so it's like, oh, like I want to fit in, I want to be like part of that, and it really resonates with me, and I really like that, and I like I also like the episode. The episode's hilarious. Just Picky Pie, just the best chicken.
Yeah, did you were either of you fans of Luna before the actual episode aired?
Oh yeah, I was a huge fan
Luna
of
fan. So what was your feeling about the fandom's idea of just like sad Luna, all of that particular thing, and then you see it. What was your particular reaction once you got the official canon Luna?
I actually wasn't that disappointed. I thought that they did a really good job with Luna, because it could have gone any number of directions. And it showed that she wasn't like, the sad, desperate, like very, like reserved character, but she was like, this is somebody who used to be a ruler of Equestria. This is someone who had was proud of herself, very like regal in her manner, in her tone. So it was just really it was really nice to capture that, but to show just like the challenges of coming back to a completely different world and trying to fit in and make the most of the situation. So I really like the way they did it. I mean, there are like certain like aspects that I would like to see a little bit more like emphasized, but otherwise it was good.
Okay, cool. All right, well, that'll take care of those, so thank you all for your character and episode. We will go ahead and move forward here. We've got tons of news, well, not a ton of news, actually, but we got news, we've got fic email, we're going to talk about what the Bronies for Good are doing, as well as we can talk to Shamrock a little bit about what's going on over there at Celestia Radio, so we can do a little bit of double duty on that. All right, and I'll go ahead and start this off by talking about our sponsor. It is We Love Fine, those purveyors of fashionable pony merchandise. You can go over there and check out their new swag. They just had the We Love Fine Favorite Pony Contest winner announced, and you can go check it out. It is a very Picasso-esque picture of Twilight Sparkle looking over the town, and it is beautiful. And I know that if you're listening live today, for females, it is on their 15% off deal. So if you want to go check that out, you can totally go do that. And that is over at We Love Fine. You can get 10% off your purchase with the code Bronyville10. So go ahead and hit that up. News time. It has. Oh man, somebody's gonna ask me if anything is on fire, since I always ask that, and Sandy replies. All right. Well, nothing's on fire. There. Good. Okay, I feel better.
Nothing is on fire.
All right. Yeah, actually, this week was really, 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 really slow. Like, like probably the slowest week I recall.
I feel like Brony fanfare killed it.
Something. I'm linking the show doc. So here's the biggest news of the week. You ready, guys? Hold yourself back. There was news for the title and synopsis for the season 3 two-parter. So they released some information about the Crystal Empire DVD, which is scheduled to release on December 4th, 2013 or 2012. Ooh, boy, that would have been a long way away.
Jesus.
Oh, geez. And pretty much what we got out of it from the Shout Factory release is about 2 sentences that explains, well, what the episode is about. And Mystical Empire up in the north, the Arctic North. I love the fact that it's... I don't want to spoil too much, but there really isn't much to spoil based off of this. It's so minimal. In Adventures of the Crystal Empire, Empire appears... Princess Celestia in all caps, Princess Celestia needs Twilight Sparkle, and then that's about it to keep them occupied at a fair, and that's it. Nothing goes any further than that. So it's there's your big dig for the week.
Pretty much.
Oh,
lots of confusing signals on that one, I think.
And let's start making assumptions immediately.
Yeah,
yes.
it
right?
Simply just makes you want to. It's like being hungry, getting like 3 peanuts, and then going like, "That was great. Now I'm only more hungry."
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like that's okay.
I was gonna say that I'm going to posit an idea that something is on fire during these 2 episodes. That's going to be my something is on fire. I don't know. Empire, though, that's quite a strong term to be throwing around, for an episode title.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. I think I think they're off-brand of the Galactic Empire, possibly the Equestria Division.
Now, here's something that I've been thinking about, and I wonder if this might just be something that hasn't been particularly communicated. There had been rumors that season 3 was going to be 13 episodes and a direct-to-video DVD, or direct-to-store shelves DVD.
Right.
Part of me is wondering if it's just in the opposite order now. It's the direct-to-video DVD and then 13 episodes, and this is that.
Interesting. It could be because it's very. I mean, we have some sort of similarities drawn with, something's going on with Cadence or whatever. Like there's something about alicorns. We're not quite sure what's going on there. And there's either it's a new enemy or something's going on with crystal ponies now we've not heard of before. There's a lot of new stuff that seems like it could be kind of I don't want to say non-canon-y, but something that doesn't quite feel like it's quite in line with the series as much as it would be as a movie. So that could be it. But again, it's a two-parter. I feel like they at least need a 3-parter or more, if they're going to pull off a movie. So
yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
That's true.
Maybe it would be interesting, and I know this is not the case, and they won't do this, but it'd be interesting if they had this 2-parter. And then at the end of season 3, they had another 2-parter that was parts 3 and 4. I don't know.
They just strung you along for a while.
Yeah, they're just like, here's the first half of this movie. Oh, now let's just do it's now time for something completely different. And then a whole season. Then you're just like, oh, by the way, here's what happened at the end,
Oh man, I'm just imagining the worst case scenario where every single episode was like 2 months earlier, like 1 month. Like they're literally just like give you 2 episodes, then it's all just like, this was the stuff that happened beforehand that set up these events and then moved forward. That would be
right. That would suck. Like just imagine a cliffhanger like we were talking about before, the end of the first part of Canterlot Wedding. Just imagine that being the cliffhanger for the end of this two-parter, and then go the whole season, and then at the end of it, you have the end of the four-parter. Like, it would just blow. People would be so mad. Flip tables everywhere.
At the end,
so much, all the butt hurt.
At the end
all
of
the butt hurt.
At the end of the second episode for that, they're being pushed and eventually all fall off a cliff, and Rainbow Dash can't use her wings because we'll go with Fick. It's always not working and broken somehow. And then that's all you see is credits them falling down, and then cue 13 episodes of wait, what happened?
Yep. 13 episodes of, and here's what happened before you saw all that.
It's like, what?
And then they come back 13 episodes later, and I don't know, Chrysalis is now good, and her brood picked them up, and so I don't know. Then it just gets weird.
They land on a cloud like 2 feet below where they were falling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is how little we have to work with this week. We're having to come up with insane scenarios.
Hey, it works. I'm willing to market this.
Yeah.
Let's get this fanfic written.
Yeah. Okay. Well, moving on a little bit, and this is a little interesting piece. Next bit of news: Interplay. Those fine folks that are making the card game want your opinions about the My Little Pony cards that they have. How many of you actually have a set of these, or several sets, like me?
I have the rarity card from BronyCon.
Ooh.
And I have a few other ones. My friend Ray bought like 4 boxes when we were at BronyCon, because that's when they started releasing them. And he got like every card pretty much right off the bat, so he's pretty much set for life now. Yeah.
I think I've gotten 3 boxes of them thus far, and I've got the of like the special ones. I've got the Twilight Sparkle and the Miyamori Cadenza one, which I'm kind of like, all right, that pretty much does me. I'm good. Yeah.
Like
that's
we tried to get the Element of Harmony one. That's the one I liked.
Mm-hmm. I think we got that because we got the binder. We got the full set of that, so that was rather neat.
Yeah.
That binder is slick. I love that binder.
It's pretty.
Oh, it's so pretty. It's so like crazy full color on it, and it includes Crazy Dirt Pony. So yeah, they've included this little Interplay survey where they just want to know, hey, have you gotten any of the cards? What kind of stuff did you like in the cards? And, would you like to see in the following? And they just want to get some of your information. And supposedly, last I heard, for those that were able to do the survey, they had some Fluttershy promo cards, but they are very much first come, first serve on that. So if you still want to try and see if there are any left, you can go to the Interplay survey, which is at an Adobe Form Central forum. Or you could use the link in the show notes to go leave some recommendations on it. I'll have to look at those. Tattoos. I was rather neutral to the tattoos. Decals. Interesting.
Question mark tattoos?
They were okay.
Yeah, they were fine. They were just, but of course I was like, sweetie, do you, I was talking to Star. I was like, should we get rid of the tattoo? She's like, I like tattoos. I'm like, all right.
Hey, tattoos are awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, it reminds me at BronyCon we were there with all the musicians and stuff when those tattoos came out, and Interrobang Pie, Glaze, and General Mumble all put them like tramp stamps on their backsides. It was hilarious.
Nice.
It was pretty awesome.
Okay,
yeah, we got pictures.
So yeah, if you want to give Interplay a little bit of a recommendation, and as said, it's for those of you that have gotten the cards or not, because they do have you gotten any of the trading cards. They just want to know what kind of stuff you guys would want. Looks like they're the stuff that would you like to see any of the following? Let's see. Oversized frameable cards, posters, bumper stickers, dog tags.
See the thing about the binder?
Yeah, Elements of Harmony leather-bound card binder. That's interesting.
It's a little bit disturbing considering it's leather, but still cool.
Small drinking glasses, like shot glasses, a snow globe. I think a snow globe with Derpy in the middle would be awesome.
That would be really
cool. Pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
Collector's tin with specialty cards and a nice box to hold cards or anything. I would like this box to hold my anythings. So yeah, go check that out. That is the Interplay survey. That will allow, and that'll give those guys that are making the MLP cards a little bit more information of what you guys want. Moving on, Las Pegasus Unicon is one of the most interesting names for a convention I can think of. And they are based in Las Vegas, as you would assume from Las Pegasus. And they have a convention on February, or they have set themselves, let me scroll down here.
Is it the 22nd?
Yes, I believe so. Kids, don't use Vista. Vista is slow and bad. It is February 22nd through 24th at the Riviera Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Las Pegasus Unicon 2013, an earthly adventure. They announced that that Tara Strong and Amy Keating Rogers will be in attendance, and from what it looks like, will be in attendance too. Or, well, let me say it like this: I'll be in attendance. Unfortunately, Sandy already has something that he has to attend to on that particular weekend.
Isn't Daniel Ingram going to be there as well? I think they were talking about trying to get him.
There is. I did hear see the list of those. Actually, I think if you go to their website, they actually have a list of like everyone that they are interested in getting, and it has just we have contacted, and they have the ones that they have confirmed, the ones that they are looking to get, etc. So yeah, they've got a straight like confirmed. Oh, it does say confirmed for Ingram. So looks like Daniel Ingram will be there. Megan McCarthy is verbally confirmed, waiting on complete confirmation, and rest of the crew. I mean, they've got everyone from. They've got unconfirmed, but I guess they've reached out to Nicole, Andrea, Tabitha, Lauren, Delancey, all of them, to try and get them to the con. One thing I will note, it is opposed to, this is the good thing about doing a con in Vegas. The hotel is relatively inexpensive. Like it's like $120 a night.
Less than that, even depending on where you're at.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous inside of there, and the packages is all right. I've never been to Vegas. I mean, the full 3-day entry is $85, so it's a little hefty for the actual full convention.
Well, if you order your tickets early, if you pre-purchase your tickets by September 30th, then you can save 40%. And if you pre-purchase your tickets by October 10th, then you can save 20%. Mm-hmm. So it goes down to $51 for the whole weekend for 40% off, and then $64 for 20% off, which is actually not that bad. $51 would be pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And look at this. They've even got some pre-purchase packages, kind of what I consider god level events, but they have they have like you can get swag. They've got a Copper Mystery Award. Let's see, 2 sets of swag, 2 weekend entries, all the way up to the Founders Package, which is $1,500, which is 2 weekend entries. Skip ahead to the line. 2 sets of swag, which is a limited edition button hat and t-shirt, mystery award, autographed picture of your choice, entry into the exclusive celebrity cocktail hour and dinner. At the awards dinner, honor your favorite stars making a personal presentation. 1 gift certificates for 2 for lunch on both Saturday and Sunday at your choice of casino restaurants. It includes the 3-night stay during the con for 2 people, upgraded to an executive suite, a thank you banner hung during the convention signed by celebrities, and a gold Founders Pass, which gives you and your guests entry into all future Las Pegasus Unicons.
Huh. Wow, that is a wonderful package.
That is limit 3. Limit 3. So if this con goes on forever, you could milk that so hard.
God, get on that now.
If you got $1,500 to drop.
I've been 3 times to Vegas. It is an amazing place. If people haven't gone, this is your chance to go to Vegas and see it. It's wonderful.
I think I would be totally willing to sit down at a blackjack table and say, I have $100 to lose. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, shit. It's wonderful to just go there and just sit and be let me just put $20 that I'm just gonna flush down the drain, and let's just see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh man, now I'm just imagining having a whole bunch of have whoever's gonna go just have a whole bunch of the pony personalities just kind of hanging around there and just hit some blackjack or something and just have a time at a table. That'd be really cool. That seemed really cool. All right, but that's go check that out. As said, looks like at this time I'm going to be attending. Sandy sadly will not. But Las Pegasus Unicon 2012, you can find that at Las Pegasus Unicon, not unicorn, unicon.com. And you can find out more information about what they're doing. And sounds like we're going to work with them, and they may have some contests and stuff like that coming up for us. So that shall be really cool. Some two little small things here. Funrise plushes. So those tiny little My Little Pony plush with the felt hair, the 3-inch size that are out there. They're making bigger and much bigger sizes. There is one that's going to be a clippable, so I guess you could attach it to your backpack, or you can carry it with you. Why, for whatever reason, did that actually redirect to Save Derpy? That's odd. Let's see. I might have just accidentally clicked something. But yes, let's see.
They have different. I'm kind of confused by the picture that I'm seeing, because it has two different types of the Pinkie Pie and Twilight on the DHN article, and then there's a Fluttershy and a Rainbow Dash. So I'm not really sure what the. Well, I think non-biased opinion. I think the Rainbow Dash one looks the best of all 6 that I'm seeing.
I think that's a biased opinion if I have to take a guess. So, looks like that of these, Pinkie and Twilight get the full gambit, because they get the 3-inch. So let's see. There's a 3-inch Pinkie plush, a 3-inch Twilight plush, and it lists another Twilight plush, but I believe that one's probably Rainbow Dash because of the picture. So those are the clippables. You can attach them to your bag or your keychain or whatever you want. 3-inch. Then there's going to be a 10-inch, which is Rainbow Dash, Pinkie, and Twilight. And then 20 inches is Twilight, Pinkie Pie, and switching it up from Rainbow Dash is Fluttershy. So you get a different set for that. That's interesting. They don't do a Rainbow Dash in the full size. Maybe it's just testing.
Could be.
Possibly.
Could be.
Yep, they are. They look fine. They're pretty ponies. It's been a slow week. So yeah, there's those. The other thing is Madman Entertainment, the guys that are making the that is responsible, I believe, for the My Little Pony comic, or one of the groups that are in that. Oh, let's see. Volume 4. Oh no. This is one of the DVD guys. Yeah, it's the IDW that does the comic books. But they've got a poster contest. You can get any set of the posters, and some of these are the ones that we've seen out there before. In the poster contest, number 2 is the one you can sometimes find at Walmart that has the full. Here's all of Equestria, the map. Number 3 is actually the season 1 Comic-Con image, and then there's just 2 other ones that are kind of that are kind of standard looking posters, but they're doing a contest to celebrate the release of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Fun Games and Friendship Volume 4. And so they are giving away some of these posters for winners of that particular contest. And they have a link, and so in the link to the show notes, there is a link that includes a link to the competition over at madmen.com.au. So a little chance to win some of those posters that are out there.
Vote number 4.
4 is 4. You know what? Number 4, that large pony that's in there, is also in number 3 and number 2. So, or no, not number 2, but
number 1.
Yeah,
1,
number
3,
1.
and 4.
Yeah. All right, so that's the news. As said, slow week. Not much going on there. So it's books time. I'm going to give you we're going to give you some fanfic that you should read. I gave myself a challenge last night. I was running through some fanfic, and I just couldn't find. I had one of these moments where I needed something that was different, and so I decided to go to femfiction, and I want cute snuggly pony fic, aka shipping, with Octavia, but I don't want it to include Scratch. Challenge me, femfiction. Don't give me Scratchtavia. And then I came across this fic once more with Feeling, a Raritavia ship. And
ooh, that's rare.
It is. It's a very interesting ship. And
Makes sense.
The good thing about it is that really, if you don't look into it much, it's actually not very shippy. I mean, it literally ends on them just being like, I really care about you. I care about you too. Sorry to give you the spoiler, but if you're not someone that, going in, it's shippy. But if you're one of the ones that doesn't like the overly, ooh, huggy against kiss, it's more of a really nice story of two people becoming friends and then just watching how that progresses. It's well written. I think it's really, really well done. I find that a lot of the things about it are just well put together, and I like the pace. I find a lot of fanfic more often than not when they try and approach something that is characters trying to get into a relationship, it always kind of comes across as like, we've been friends for a while, now I really like you. It's just like it's so jarring, and this definitely has a little bit more subtle, just like slow approach to it that I think works well. So it is completed. It is a one chapter fic, once more with Feeling. So go check that out. Link is in the show notes. DJ Shamrock, what is this that you have for me? Combat, Death, and Destruction? What are you bringing to my show, sir?
First I have a quick honorable mention. I'll just say Romance Reports is one of my favorite fan fiction. Sleepless Brony's a cool guy, so I'm just throwing that out there. But the Immortal Game is incredible. People may know it as its first name, Ponies Make War, was the first name, which is kind of bland, and so the guy Aesthetic B changed it. And it is incredible. Anyone that I've talked to that I've made read it, because I have to literally sit people down and say, read the first 3 paragraphs. If you aren't hooked, you can kill me. It is literally that good. It is, without a doubt, the best novel, like pony or non-pony, like book, whatever, I've ever read in my entire life. I cannot say enough good things about it. It is I wouldn't say it's non-canon. It's just sort of, it's slightly alternate universe-y. It'd be like Ponies if we were to view it in a more mature sort of setting, to where there's like realistic combat and things like that, when there was war between Celestia and Luna and etc. But canon-wise, there's a lot of stuff that he keeps pretty much in line. It's done before, it's done after Discord, but before most of Season 2, so you're not going to see anything with Chrysalis or any of that stuff at the end. But it's, wow, what can I say? It's about 300,000 words, which is like 600 pages or something. And it's a task. But I'll tell you what, if you read the first chapter, you will not stop until you're done. I can't say enough cool things about it. And the combat scenes are so well done that it just blows my mind. It's one of those things where if someone were to tell me like, hey, combat and ponies, I'd be like, you're kind of crazy. But you got to read it. You got to read it. The Immortal Game by Aesthetic B on femfiction.net. So.
And Big Mac lifted his hoof, looking down upon the war-torn lands before him, and went, "This was a fine day."
It's very like his system of like, he explains all of this sort of stuff that he's made up in his own little world thing, and it's very interesting. So if you're into combat typey stuff or role playing typey stuff, it's pretty cool.
All right, yeah. Super cool. The Immortal Game listed on the show notes. Master Tortilla has nothing, or at least he has the same thing that he offered the last time he was on the show. It sounds like.
Yeah, pretty much. I think the last thing he even saw close to shipping, at fan fiction, was at TrotCon. We were near the guy that wrote Spiders'. So got to see a little bit of that. That was a fun day.
Oh boy, that fic is just that fic was just made to be weird. Yep. Okay, Rommel, what do you have? This is the if there was any listing of a title here that is going to grab our attention, it's going to be this one.
Okay, so this one is called Jesus has tea with Fluttershy. So I want you to picture this for a second.
Well, first off, read the
kindest, most gentlest, just like empathic person that you could ever imagine, and then pair that with his pony counterpart essentially, and then have them having tea together, in the most idyllic and just utopian setting that you could ever imagine. And that's what this fic is, and it's just so well done. There's no there's no religious undertones in any of that. There's no overt promotion of Christianity. No, it's just this meeting between two entities of such positive and empathic nature that you can't but just smile while you're reading it.
That is a very odd fic, and now I'm just imagining other ones. It's just going to be like Buddha has lunch with Rarity.
I can't help myself. When he said tea, I just couldn't help but imagine Jesus and Fluttershy just sitting there with top hats, just like, yes. What?
Yeah. Very much so.
Confucius has coffee with Twilight Sparkle.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali has energy drinks with Rainbow Dash. I don't know.
Oh gosh.
They have an entire line of these. Let's see. Who else are we getting? Oh god.
The Dalai Lama has rice with Pinkie Pie. There you go.
Well, I was just thinking like Pinkie Pie needs something like insane. It's like the flying spaghetti monster or something.
Oh yeah, there you go. Flying spaghetti monster.
She needs like just something completely absurd, but not in the terrible way, Applejack has, man, what would you add? I don't know. Applejack is like
somebody
Thor.
It'd be like Chuck Norris or somebody like Will Rogers or something,
Applejack has dinner with Carl Sagan.
Oh Lord.
Let me explain to you the universe and everything included within. I don't know what you're talking about. That'd be interesting. Okay, so there you go. There's your fix for the week. Jesus has tea with Fluttershy, the immortal game, and Once More with Feeling. So go check those out if you're needing a little bit of a pony fix during this continuing summer of non-ending non-pony. And this will move us forward to topic time. It's time to talk about, well, we've got two sets of groups here. We actually got the Bronies for Goods, Rommel and Master Tortilla, and we have DJ Shamrock, so we can kind of talk about two different sides of the fandom in one go. First off, let's go ahead and hit the Bronies for Good. If you have not heard of them, and that would be exceptionally odd, tell you what, one of you guys to explain your organization once more for those that may not have heard of what you guys do.
All right. Should I take this, Tortilla?
Yeah, go ahead. I got it last time. It's your turn, man.
Hit it.
Sweet. All right. So, in a nutshell, Bronies for Good is a solidarity support organization for Bronies wanting to do charity social justice work in the fandom. Anything that involves, reaching out and helping others in a very positive way. So that's the purpose of our organization. And what we try to do is just, build connections with various groups and individuals in the fandom to help, to also help organize these types of fandom-wide events, such as Seeds of Kindness. So that's a little bit about what we do and who we are, and we've been around for about a year now, and we're continue going strong, continue growing, reaching out to more and more cons, and getting to the point where Seeds of Kindness 2 is going to be launching pretty soon. So yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
So let me get a little bit of information from you, because I've actually got to talk to some friends about Bronies tomorrow, and I want to come at them with some numbers and things to really wow them.
All right.
If you have the capabilities of telling me, or have any of the information, what's some of the big sparkly crazy stuff that you guys have done since the year or so that you guys have been operating as Bronies for Good?
All right. Within the year that we've been operating as Bronies for Good, we've done probably 3 to 4 main big events, and we've been involved in multiple other types of kinds of actions or events that we've organized. The first one that we did was Nurse Red Hearts Roundup, which is actually, we have a reboot of that going on right now. But that is basically a Brony blood drive, getting Bronies out to go and donate blood and to basically help alleviate or to help satiate the demand of blood that is necessary for transfusions or for emergency operations in hospitals or medical institutions. So that's one of our first events, and then from there we moved into doing food and toy drives, BronyCon, and Winter BronyCon, and just in general in the fandom. And then like our first like really big thing that we did was the Smile charity album fundraiser. Which was one of the first of like our album series. We worked with MyLittleRemix.com to kind of put together this 27-track album called Smile, and that was like kind of the theme as well for all the artists that were involved. And that one managed to raise $27,000 for the Children's Cancer Association. So that was like our first like really big event. And then after that, we reorganized, and then we put out a new event called Seeds of Kindness, which I hope a lot of you are familiar with. And that one was a partnership that we developed with the organization called Your Siblings, which does progressive, locally initiated sustainable projects in the developing Horn of Africa. And that one was for basically a clinic in Uganda, a sustainable village in Burundi, and an orphanage in Uganda as well. And we did another album, which was about 40 tracks, and it also had a raffle to accompany that as well. And we did a super big charity live stream with Mike the Microphone and a few others to kind of help put out the word about that event as well. And through everything that we been going there, we've gotten to about 38,000 euros on that one. So that's by far our biggest fundraiser so far, and we've come very close to almost fully funding all of Your Siblings projects that they basically had. So
oh wow,
the folks over at Your Siblings are just like, oh, we don't have enough projects for all this money. It's basically the situation that's developed. So it's pretty good. And Telefi, who's a co-chair of Your Siblings, is working now to get more projects going to just get them, help them get them established and help get the word out there about them. So once they pick up on that, we'll have more to do. And we also did a smaller, like not big event, but just one that we did to kind of help some friends over at Ponycraft, which was Ponies for Oxygen, and that one dealt with the mother of I forget their names, but two of like the main founders of Ponycraft. She was suffering from a debilitating lung disease that was making it very difficult for her to breathe, and just aggravating her and just giving her a lot of pain that really made her life difficult. So she needed an oxygen machine in order to kind of help her breathe and make her life a little bit easier. And we decided to help out and organize a online auction of a couple of big items and getting people to donate there. And we managed to raise about $2,000 for them, which was well over the goal that they had in mind. So they're very happy about that. And right now, should I talk about current projects too, or?
Actually, let's do this. Just so I have a number. Is there any assumption of to date how much has gone to Bronies for Good?
Let me make a calculation real fast.
Sure. That's fine. So tell you what, that would give it. If Tortilla wants to actually bring up the new thing that's going on, you totally can do that while he crunches a few numbers.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, our newest project coming up quite soon is actually a continuation of Seeds of Kindness. Seeds of Kindness 2, Faithful and Strong. It's another musical album that will be released, same sort of format as before, prize lists for high donators. And our main focus of this is going to be the orphanage in Uganda, which we funded partially with Seeds of Kindness 1, but not completely. We still need around 30,000 left for the orphanage. So we're hoping we can go past it and, keep on adding more projects. But our biggest view is the orphanage.
Okay, that's super cool. So just adding a little bit to it. So you said that through the first Seeds of Kindness it got established, but what additional things is this going to add to what's already been established at the orphanage?
Well, if I recall, they've already bought the land, but they need to update the building, buy new amenities, pay off the land, things like that. Just overall, it's not the best place so far. They just own it and have sort of a honestly ramshackle building, so it needs to be updated.
Okay.
They also need the money for the chicken farm, which is going to be going there to serve as the like kind of the source of financial independence for the project. So that's basically their productive the productive part of the whole project that'll give them the ability to be able to fund any more construction or fund any more of their programs for the future
to make themselves sustainable, pretty much.
Yes.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, go ahead.
I crunched some numbers, and to this day, based on Seas of Kindness, Smile, Ponies for Oxygen, and yeah, of those four, we got $79,000. So $80,000.
Okay, cool. I'll make a little note of that and wave that in front of my friends just to be like, we made this much in a year. So that's cool. All right, that's super awesome. Yeah, you guys over at the Bronies for Good and doing all the Seeds of Kindness stuff. If for instance, if anybody was actually still interested in what was produced in like the first Seeds of Kindness, is there any way that they can still access or pay to get any of that information, or is that totally closed up?
Nope, that's still going. People can still donate to that and get the albums. The prize portion is already closed off, so you can't compete for the prize, but you can still get the albums. You can donate to the projects, and I'll put the link in the chat, and then we can add that to the document at a later time.
Yeah, we can just drop that right into the topic time. That'll be perfect. Okay, is there anything else you guys want to do? If you want to go ahead and talk where to find the Bronies for Good, or the best place to donate across, or where to find more information about you guys.
All right. We have a Facebook and we have a Twitter. The Twitter is a little bit more regular than the Facebook page. But for any of our major projects, we'll be making press releases. So we'll just blast all of the usual sites with all the information that you'll need on that. And let's see. No, that's about it for where you can find information about us. And I think do you mind if I bump a few of our projects are going on right now?
Go right ahead.
All right, so right now, I just wanted to mention that Nurse Red Heart's Roundup is still going on right now. The information is still on broniesforgood.org, so you can check it out there. And basically, there's a raffle that's going to be serving as a little incentive for anybody who does go out to donate blood. So I would highly suggest that you go out, make an appointment, go donate blood, and you can have a little bit of fun, help save lives, and hey, even maybe win a prize. So.
All right.
The instructions are all on the website. Just check it out there. And yeah. Oh, also, for those of you who are going to Equestria LA, we are going to be having a table and charity auction out there. So the charity auction is going to be featuring a lot of really cool items. I can't tell you what they are right now, but I'll just tell you right now there's going to be some really cool autograph swag that'll be there, plus a few other things. And we'll be having a table out in the kind of main exhibition hall. So we'll be having buttons and different memorabilia out for people to be able to get, and that stuff will be free to pass out, but we'll be asking for donations. So if you donate however much you want to donate, from $1 to $10 or whatever, you can get a set of free buttons and 3 other little things to be there. And of course, come and say hi to us, and we love to interact with all of you, and to kind of personally thank all of you, because without the Brony fandom, none of this would be possible. You guys made all of this happen for us. So we just organized stuff.
Yeah, super cool. And you gave me a little bit earlier, you gave us 2 links. What are these pieces of music you gave? And we'll be including one as the outro for today.
Mm-hmm. Those are special sneak peeks of what is going to be on the album in terms of music. And I guess I should probably tell you who the artists are, so you have an idea of just the caliber of what we're talking about here. One of them, you should, if you're not familiar with this guy, you should definitely be familiar with him because he is amazing. His name is Makkon, and the song is titled Absolution. And I won't spoil it for you, but it's It's a really nice one.
It's an awesome song.
It's a good one.
Oh man.
Yep. Typical
Really
Makkon.
Yeah, it's the usual like well made orchestrated piece. Like so delicious.
Very, very good. The other one is "Faithful and Strong" by War Ballast. So that's another artist that's going to be on the album, and it's a really good song. It's kind of like a bit of like an '80s rock theme. So I think you guys will enjoy that. Actually, kind of spoiling a little bit about the album. There is a lot of very interesting like rock songs that are going to be going into the album. So if you like rock, or if you like very dramatic or just grandiose songs, that's what you're going to be expecting in this one.
Okay, very cool. I do want to make a quick note, and this is a very big aside. I just noticed that Starry has been drawing on the stream, and she just drew an octopus, and now she's drawing juice boxes. What are you doing to my show?
What?
Are juice boxes still a thing?
I guess juice boxes are still a thing. Cute ponies with juice boxes, except this one seems to be spilled.
Oh.
What's going on? I can't tell. Whatever.
This looks very, very risque.
No sense crying over spilled juice.
Yeah, really. Yeah, this is what happens when Starry gets bored. I like this better when she just decides to do silly stuff and let you guys that are watching the chat enjoy it. So, okay. So very cool on that. We can give a little bit of time. Shamrock, what's it like running a pony radio station?
Oh God, it is hectic and crazy and busy and all sorts of other things.
So explain Celestia Radio for those that may not know it.
Oh, okay, I will explain. So back last May, that is 2011, not like 3 months ago, when Ponies season 1 was sort of wrapping up, and there was all this music starting, and of course, My Little Remixes has been mentioned earlier. Was starting up. 3 guys got together on, it was either 4chan or PonyChan or somewhere, and they were like, hey, there's so much great music, we should start like a radio station thing. And they're like, sure. And none of those 3 people are me, but PH Pony, for those that know, he web devs for MLR as well as for Celestia Radio. He's my co-owner. And Hooflander and Karai, who both of those guys don't work here anymore. But they all got together and sort of started a 24/7 auto DJing mix thing of music, and so that sort of started. That was essentially the first pony radio station. Later, you saw ones like Every Pony Radio popped up there early on, and way down the line, you saw folks like Philadelphia and Everfree Radio eventually start. But like in the July of that year. I sort of came on, and after I joined Ponies, and I was like, hey, you guys should really do some actual like live DJ stuff, you know. And at that time, I had been in real life radio for a few years, and I was like, let me do some cool stuff. We can mix it up. And I started a morning show from 10 to 4, Monday through Friday, so 30 hours a week. I was live DJing for Ponies, and then I went to work in the evenings from like 5 to 11, and did like 40 hours a week doing that. So I was DJing like 70 to 80 hours a week. It was awesome, and but tiresome. So eventually, I run through the timeline, and I end up taking over the place. And now we do talk shows, live DJ stuff, programs like your guys' podcast. Bronyville now runs on there. Grand Kennel Cavalcade runs on there. Some other cool shows, Brony Hour, Rowdy Rough Bronies. We have live DJing most of the week, most nights. We do interviews with people, like we've done ones with Daniel Ingram, with the BronyCon documentary people, John Delancey, Peter New, Lee Tokar. We also do fandom ones a lot. We cover the whole spectrum, from the respectable members of the community to some of the less what people would like to see, like Mega Sweet and Haiku and Sergeant Sprinkles, creator of Cupcakes. So, and Hot Diggity Demon was a fun one. But yeah, so we talk to everybody and give everybody a voice, and that's been my whole sort of principle behind media and behind radio. And play pony music, of course. We have the largest Pony Music Archive, I'm pretty sure of any of the stations at least. About 50 to 60 gigs of stuff and over 300 musical artists. So, yeah.
All right, super cool. Yeah, you guys have been around. I remembered, I think when we were starting this show, I noticed the Celestia Radio starting up, and I was just like, oh, that's kind of neat. It's a big replay of of a lot of the music out there, and a good way to just kind of find out what's new. Your chat room is insane, by the way.
Our chat room is it is a certain amount of spaghetti. I will say that. It's back in the day when I was doing live DJing and we really got the RC really active. There was some really, it was cool. Like there were some really cool people there, and I could basically make them do whatever bidding I wanted. Whether it was back in the day when we didn't have such a great relationship with Equestria Daily, there would be a time where I would be like, hey guys, get me this post on Equestria Daily. And I would have like 300 people email Seth, like all within 5 minutes. And, which of course was terrible for him. But, I could make him do pretty much whatever I wanted, which is cool. It's like my own little private army of listeners. But, yeah, in recent times, I've been AWOL for so long for school last year. And before now that I've taken over, I don't DJ hardly as much because I am busy running the place. And networking and talking to guys like you guys and stuff. And so I don't draw that crowd in as much anymore, but we're working on it. It's Celestia Radio Chat has always been crazy, but in recent times they are more crazy than usual. So.
And you have the option just to listen to what's going on right there on the webpage. And then I think I recalled there were other ways that you could pick up on it.
Yes, you have a Flash player, of course, which a lot of people use. Everybody's welcome to use. It is the one that is most prone to issues. If you happen to, if the stream stops, whatever, you got to do that F5. I always tell people, if there's an issue with your stream, F5 is the first key you go to reset your cache. But we also have the option. It'll say like iTunes /Winamp. Well, you can use that. It's like a .pls file. You can play it through VLC. You can play it through, I'm pretty sure Windows Media Player does it. Winamp, iTunes, whatever media player you have, you can usually run it. And we've also got an Android app. If you go to the Android Marketplace, you can look up Celestia Radio. You got an app right there on your Android phone. If you're using iTunes, I'm sorry, or if you're using an iOS, I'm sorry, that OS is really hard to write a code for an app. But you can still play it if you use the internet and go to Wi-Fi by going to molestia.ponify.me. The port is 8062, and you can still listen to us that way. So,
all right, cool. I noticed a question a little earlier, and this probably can be easily answered, but Novus Duram Mundi said, "Hey, does Celestia Radio and EFR have a rivalry by chance?"
What can I say about that?
Well, I think it's probably one of the things of like, in so much that you guys, that both of it's kind of like people asking me, it's like, hey, do you have a rivalry with EFR? It's like, I guess I technically kind of do, but whatever. It's not like I care. It's not like adding stuff actually like, oh no, they're buying my product. Ooh.
Right? Yeah, we don't like lose money or anything like that because people who are dedicated to CR are dedicated to us and they donate their money here. But we are competing insofar as we're both radios. Like I would say we're really the only two like competing radio stations. Like I'm not going to diss on like Philadelphia or any of the other ones, but we are the two major ones. CR is the oldest, and EFR is, as of right now, is like one of the most popular. And luckily, our close sort of relationship with the music community has sort of sealed us as being one of the top radio stations. It helps that PH Pony is the web dev for MLR. It also helps that I'm in like every single music chat, and I like have conversations with folks in voice chat and stuff all the time. Like it's fun. I love doing that stuff because they're all really cool people. But it helps to be able to, I remember back when Alex S first came out with his Ghost remix, a melting pot of alcohol, for those that are aware of it, and who know who Ghost is.
I love that one. I love that so much.
He sent me a text when I was at work. He's like, "Hey, new song." He's like, "I want to get it, premiered on Celestia Radio as soon as possible before I put it up on YouTube." I was like, "Hell yeah!" So, just stuff like that. That's you wouldn't have if you didn't know those people personally. So that's good. So we do compete on some level. I think it's very passive. I know Final Draft is very passive when it comes to stuff like that, and I too am also sort of the same way. If you get me personally, like aside, I'll say whatever. But it's definitely to a point where we have the music stuff kind of going for us, and they have their relationships with the VAs and stuff like that. So we each have sort of some different things that are pluses and minuses. The other thing I would say that makes us very different, and I'll tell like listeners like flat out, if you're going to choose one or the other, like here is the decision maker for you. EFR definitely is a SFW radio station. Like they are as much of a sort of I wouldn't necessarily say commercialized, but sort of a NPR maybe style kind of a thing where it's going to be very safe. They are very strictly PG or PG-13. I'm not really sure which, but they're very strictly so. They're very puristic when it comes to the idea of ponies. They love and tolerance, all that stuff. They stay sort of or try and stay true to the idea of the show. Celestia Radio from the very get-go, or at least when I joined, we've got Prison Fishy, myself. We have some very outgoing and open people, and so we are much more of an independent sort of like, we will host and provide and say and do pretty much whatever we want. We aren't held responsible by Hasbro or anybody else. I don't believe in being like in your face about stuff, but I believe in like giving people a chance to say something. Like I guarantee like Mega Sweet would never get an interview on EFR.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee that Sergeant Sprinkles would never get an interview on EFR. And I think that's like, a part of me thinks that's sad. Like I understand why, but a part of me like that's sad because they're cool people. Honestly, like if you've never met them before, they're really legit people. And I know that I said this at Brony Fanfare actually when I was asked this question. People that are into the more like sort of controversial sides of the fandom or what have you, or produce material for that, people just assume that they're like creepers or that they're like hateful people or whatever. And it's totally not true. You can have people who are into the more risque stuff and they're the coolest people I've ever met, and you can have people that are totally like safe for work, like really puristic, who are, I will say, complete douchebags. So I go by the character of an individual and not really so much by like what they do or like that kind of stuff. I go by how they act. So, and that's what I believe in for Celestia Radio. I believe in you should be able to say whatever you want to say, have an open voice for anybody who wants to say something. I'll put no name like writers, artists, whoever. Like if you want to say something and like want to have a voice on the radio, then I'm all about that, regardless of what it is. The fact we have Grand Counterlock Cavalcade on the radio is like,
God.
It's like, whoa, like, yeah, like it's really risque, like it's really controversial. And it's just off the wall, like batshit insane. Like you don't really know what to think about it. But I love that. I love being able to just have the most wackiest stuff and just to say, hey, there is a venue, there is an outlet for this. Because for as many people as EFR kicks away, we'll take them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We took you guys.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think one of the big points that you mentioned there is the entire thing of, EFR does keep themselves very clean because that's what Hasbro wants them to be. They
right.
get the contacts that they get, and we get our contacts mostly by sheer luck and just being, really personable. Right. But they get a lot more because they are making sure that they dot their T's, cross their I's, and never talk about things like shipping and never talk about, some of the other stuff.
Right.
And, that's what they make. That's what you could say it's sacrifice, or you could say it's cleaning. My thing is I have no problem. with our show, my thoughts are I like to make a show that's clean enough that somebody can sit there with their 7-year-old, with their 8-year-old, 12-year-old, whatever, listen to, and it's fine. But I don't feel like having to scrub too much of the fandom's identity out of the show makes any sense. So, I completely understand having a little bit of scrubbing to make sure that you're not like Grand Cavalcade and just being that form of crazy. Oh my God. But on the other end, but yeah, it's just a decision making. So, somebody said, is it like EQD to DHN? Not really. I mean, they're,
it's similar, I guess, in some ways, like everybody has their, what if you're gonna like one or you're gonna like the other usually. There are some people that can like both. It's sort of like mentally advanced versus friendship is witchcraft. That's another sort of duo that sort of goes against each other. But it's you use whichever one you like and whichever one fits your needs really. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for something that if you're introducing like a 7-year-old or something, or you want to have a whole family get together, believe it or not, at Brony Fanfare, I met a woman who had 3 young girls who they had me sign posters for them because they were huge fans of Celestia Radio. And I looked at my DJs and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. There's no way. Like, there is no way. Not that we're like completely NSFW or anything, but like definitely a significant portion of our programming is not censored or anything, So it's like, wow, that's cool. I'm glad that they like it and that they haven't caught any of the more risque stuff. But that's what programming's all about. I'm a program director, so I make a schedule and I say, hey, Grand Kennerlock Cavalcade, that's like a bunch of holy shit, what's going on? Let's put that at like midnight, to 2 a.m. And then, stuff like Bronyville, let's have that in the early evening afternoon, that's more friendly. So as long as you make it clear what its intent is, I have no intention of shocking people, or anything like that. I don't get anything out of that. So I just believe in giving people a choice. Like, here, tune in at this hour and you'll get SFW. Tune in at this hour and you'll get, whatever the hell this is, so.
Yep. Okay. Anything else you wanted to pimp or say, or, tell everyone how to direct them to over there at Celestia Radio, how to get there?
Sure. Well, first off, I would say if you haven't heard of us, go listen. It's ponify.me. It's literally one of the easiest websites to remember for a brony in the entire world. There's no .com or anything. It's ponify.me. Literally ponify me. PONIFY.me. And in terms of just a sort of an aside thing, I will say please continue to donate to one of our biggest charities that we did was Kiki's Cancer Fund. It's Sarah Strong's little friend that has cancer, and she's doing very well. We were able to raise. We did a 60-hour DJ-a-thon where we raised like $5,000 or $6,000 in 60 hours, and it was a lot of fun, and it was crazy. We were able to raise that money. So add that to your total of whatever. But
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was fun. Like, she was very grateful. She and her friend Kelly G is sort of her right hand that does a lot of the stuff with that. And at BronyCon, we talked to her and stuff. She was very grateful, and it's just so great to hear the stories from the family and stuff about how well they're doing and everything. And so please continue to donate to that. There's a link to it, I believe, on our main page. So
that's really good. Really glad to hear that that fundraisers continue to go well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, super cool. Okay, well, I think that takes care of both of the little topic times there. So let's go ahead and move forward. Let's do some email. I have done some handy little color coordinating here. So DJ, if you will grab the reds, then we can have Tortilla grab the yellow and get Rommel to grab the green. You can always send emails across to us at bronyville@gmail.com. We will pick them up if they are cool and neat and hopefully not too long. I had to trim one of these down this week because it was just a little bit too large, but it should be a good little discussion point. Let me go ahead and start first with this. Hello, Chef Sandy, AC Starry, and any other people who may or may not be on. Ooh. First things first, thank you for producing such a wonderful weekly podcast. I only discovered you recently, but I've been bringing on your archives. Since I've been looking for something to do, I have the idea to make my own podcast for the multiple fandoms in it. Do you have any good advice on me? And what would be all right with you if I initially based the format off of your show, the order in which things are in, off of Bronyville? I'd probably wind up developing my own style, but I need something to start with. Also, would you say that it is difficult to get onto iTunes? Thanks for any advice, as well as such a quality podcast. Your faithful slacker, Cameron Sontag. P.S. I was listening to an old episode, and one of you had said something about the show, your show helping some guy in Wisconsin who had nobody to really discuss the show with, which perfectly describes me. Kinda creepy. So, how to do the show? I've totally stolen formats from other shows before, so there's nothing wrong with doing that. Each show, and formats change. Like, for instance, we had the email earlier in the show, then we moved it later in the show just because it does take up a bunch of time. As for what suggestions I would have, the big difference is, are you going to be, is it going to be yourself? Is it going to be multiple people? If there's going to be multiple people, are they going to be local or are they going to be across the internet? If it is a single show, good luck. One-man shows are hard. Having people to talk to makes it so much easier. If it is a multiple show and you're doing it locally, you'll just want to get maybe just a little... I would suggest if it's only two people, get maybe an M-Audio, not an M-Audio, an M-Audio USB preamp. It can take two inputs and it does some pretty good audio and pushes right out to USB, and you can just record it, edit it in Audacity, hit bumpers, and then figure out how to do RSS using something like WordPress or whatever aggregator you're going to attach it to. If you do Skype and decide to do something like that, it gets a lot more tricky. A lot of people use Pamela, even though I really don't like that program to record all the audio. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of your big ways to your usual ways to do it. I have a crazy setup where I have a microphone feed into a preamp that feeds into a mixer that feeds into another all the audio goes into the mixer, and then the mixer sends out the audio to a second laptop that Starry is currently drawing a silly face on, it appears. So that's it's something that you just have to keep banging up your head against. There are some neat guides on how different people podcast. And that's why I say. And is it difficult to get into iTunes? No, just go to iTunes. Once you have an RSS feed, submit your information. If you are on the podcast page, you can find a submit podcast link down there. And then you just give it the RSS feed. And if it validates it, it will add it to there within probably about a week's time. So it's not too hard to actually get added. The harder thing with podcasts is to keep doing them. That is the hardest. The hardest thing is to keep the motivation to do it every single week or whatever time frame you do it. Hey, Shammy, do you have any suggestions? I mean, not particularly podcast related, but just production related.
Yeah, I would say, God, Skype just, it's, you love it and you hate it at the same time. It can make or break, any event, whether it's live or a podcasted podcasted is not too bad because you can edit, but it can get confusing. You have to look into doing some stereo mixy type stuff. We use virtual audio cable sometimes to figure out how to set that up. That's a kind of a nifty program. Lets you do some things if you've got multiple inputs and outputs and stuff, but yeah, I always pronounced it Pamela, but I always pronounce my stuff weird. I like to pronounce things wrong. And there was one at one time that was like Call Burner or something that had like a symbol of a jalapeno. And that did Skype recording stuff, but and that one was good, I think. But everything is paid anymore. Like I pirate stuff. I don't, yeah, so recording-wise, Audacity is a great suggestion. Audacity is wonderful, free program, and I would say look at your formats too. Don't upload WAV files unless you want your fans to kill you, and stuff like that. Just tiny things. So
yeah, and figure out how long you want it to do and kind of stick to that. And format's always a good thing to keep an eye on, and especially if it's something like know that it's going. Here's one of the most important things I think people think. It takes 2 hours for us to record the show, and if I didn't have M sitting there just willing to bang against audio for the 4 or 5 hours that it takes to actually make this stuff sound good, for every hour, or just take it for every when you're starting, for every hour you're going to be recording, expect to spend 3 hours editing until you get to the point that you're good enough that it only takes 2 hours. It's kind of ridiculous like that. So just so you know. Okay, let's see. Shammy, if you would mind grabbing the next one in red.
Sure. Let's see here. There's so much amazing fan-made content that it's easy to get lost in it all. I agree. Sites like EQD are awesome for keeping up with the latest additions to the never-ending stream of artwork, animations, music, and the like. But I'm having a hard time finding a list of awesome things to check out for new fans of the show. Could you share some of your favorite animation series, remixers, and artists that every proper Brony should know about? Thanks so much for your regularly scheduled podcast. I always look forward to Wednesday now. Tyler P., a.k.a. Mr. Onosa, as it is pronounced, I believe. And P.S., did anyone else love the scene in Lesson Zero where Twilight Sparkle grunts, then imminently grunts again louder, just so all her friends know she's super frustrated? HTTP something YouTube link. Let's see. What was the initial question? Oh yes, some favorite animation series and things. Well, personally, I love the Mentally Advanced series that Flim Flam Philosophy does. They also have a website now called Dawn Somewhere. That's Dawn like not dusk and not twilight, but dawnsomewhere.com. He also does a series called the Rainbow Dash Presents series. Which is sort of a rainbow.
Oh, yeah, so good.
It's a Rainbow Dash fan reading series of like the most horrifically either sad or grotesque fan fictions that the fandom has presented, and sort of spins it into a kind of hilarious light. Which I love about that because I think those stories are hilarious in my own way.
The Rainbow Dash Presents Captain Hook the Biker Gorilla, a.k.a. Rainbow Factory one, is by far my favorite.
It is so good. And Petter Up does an amazing job with the animation. Initially, it's not really so much animation, but in his newer stuff, there's so many like slides. It is basically animation now. And they have some other funny, like, cool videos on their website that they do, like the Allen Hour and stuff. That's really funny. But Mentally Advanced, the humor is just so good, and it's really complex, sort of. So it's funny to do. Let's see, other good ones. Of course, Pony's Anthology 1 and 2.
Oh yeah,
you gotta go for those. I mean, those are big ones. Those are huge.
Double Rainboom, I would suggest. Friendship is Witchcraft.
Yep, that's another one.
Doctor Who's an Assistant is one that comes to my mind. It's really good. They just started doing like little,
if they're a doctor,
what is the term called? But just like these little videos with the recording itself and then different images of like different scenes that accompany it. It's kind of like a slideshow.
Well, I think they're like a radio play also, aren't they?
Yeah, they are a radio play. They are a radio play.
Okay. Right.
And they also do this like a slideshow now as well of fan art.
We at Celestia Radio host a lot of radio plays, and some of those that I would suggest for people to get into would be like vinyl scratch tapes are a great one. Even if you're not so much a fan of vinyl Tavia, it's a lot of fun, and I narrate in it, so you should go listen to it. And let's see, Doctor Who's Adventures, which is another one, like Doctor Who's an Assistant. That's a good one. Any of the radio plays really are great.
Let's see. Moving on, let's see. Remixers. I suppose that's more like musicians. I mean, you mentioned Alex S., Living Tombstone.
Tina.
Yeah, Shamrock. You're deep in the scene. Who would your top 5 be?
Ooh, top 5 musical artists.
Now you're going to have to stop making friends because now you're going to make enemies.
I'm going to make so many enemies. Eurobeat Brony, without a doubt, is one of... He and Alex S. are my top 2. Mainly because, like, sometimes it takes a while for them to come out with stuff, but when they do, holy crap, it is amazing. Any of, like, I love the sort of Eurobeaty type music that Eurobeat does, and I can listen to them like for hours playing video games without realizing that I'm listening to it. But the vocal stuff is what's really good.
Oh,
and
the
of course,
Luna, yeah.
Luna, Discord,
yeah.
You've got this Aria, Diamond Dogs, Flim Flam Brothers, like all of his stuff that he's done with vocals is amazing and so addictive to listen to. Let's see. So yeah, him, Alex S, of course, Living Tombstone, you have to mention him. The Glaze is a great one, aka Wooden Toaster, for those that don't know, it's the same person. And I have to list a fifth one now. Ooh.
This is the point where it gets contentious.
Uh-oh.
What last friend on this earth do I want to keep that's a Brony musician? Oh man. God, there are so many great ones.
Well,
it's just so hard.
The best thing to do is then just to say no more, and then just to retain that ticket.
I'll list, instead of an artist, I will list a particular song, which is like the only pony song done by this person, which is Pony Swag, done by a Swagberg featuring Maros. That's like my it's my legend song. Like that's my number one song of all time. So it's wonderful, and people should listen to it if they haven't heard it before.
Yeah, for a while that was kind of like the Brony anthem.
Yeah, it was Celestia Radio's anthem. Like, we would every day, when I hit so many listeners, we would swag and we would crash the Freenode servers in IRC. It was wonderful. Like, because that takes an army to do that, and it was fun. So yeah, the great song. People, especially since I'm sure a lot of people are newer people that came in like during or after season 2 now or whatever. Yeah, you got to listen to Pony Swag.
Okay. And artists, I mean, there's so many. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen pretty. Just, you know what? Just check the old show notes and stuff like that. There's so many that we could just go on for so long about a bunch of these.
We'll link stuff. What did he? There was another question or statement.
No, not really.
Here.
He just wanted me to play Frustrated Twilight. So let me go ahead and load this up now. I do have to say I love this too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's not playing. Oh well, that's weird. For whatever reason, my browsers don't make any sound today. Wait, did I? Wait a second. Hold on. Is it because I've muted my browser mixer? Odd. Yes, I did. I did exactly that. How unusual. All right, here we go. Frustrated Twilight. Oh, I love my waifu. Frustrated Twilight's best Twilight. All right. Let me close that down. Okay, so moving on. If Tortilla, if you will grab the one in orange.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Dear Apple Cider and Chef Sandy, I've recently started to get interested in your podcast, and I have to admit, you guys rock hard. The way you guys rant and manage to talk over the net with sheer ease about MLP blows my mind completely. At least to me, since whenever I end up talking about stuff like this to others at school, I end up turning into a Twilight Sparkle statue. Insert Stairmaster joke here. On another topic, I also have my own OC Pony Pegasi, who has her fair share of troubles and teases. She's a blank from a family of musicians without a musical bone in her body, unaware of her own worth and talent while still working hard on music and being happy-go-lucky. She's still under her work, but it's brought a good question to my mind. Considering how many OCs are made in the Brony fandom, why does it seem that there are dozens of alicorns, mini Pegasi, yet so few Earth ponies and unicorns? Best wishes, Kitten Chan. P.S. Have you heard about MLP FIM being nominated for a Tubi Award?
Because flying is cool. That is unfortunate. Yeah, I would even say that there's plenty of unicorns as well, because people just go, I want to be able to hold things.
Yeah, and then Earth ponies get no love.
Yeah,
because who cares about food production? I mean, who needs food?
Hey, I have an Earth pony. You fly. You fly with your hat.
Hey! You don't diss my hat.
I'm not.
Yeah.
But anyways,
The Earth ponies just don't seem like they have anything interesting about them besides being small horses.
They don't. They're boring.
Farm land. That's like their only power. They can make stuff grow better than everybody else.
Whoa.
But that's about it. Like,
that'll work great in a game of Dominion, but it's not interesting.
I think it boils down.
Wait, who doesn't need food? Everybody needs food. I mean, come on. They have the power over the most fundamental source of energy in our society, or in pony society, anyway.
I think it boils down to there's not so many Earth ponies because not every single Earth pony can be as overpowered as Pinkie Pie.
That's true. Or as musically inclined as Octavia.
That's true. But everybody just wants to fly, use magic, or be able to control the skies.
Oh yeah, and friends don't let friends have Alicorn Cs, by the way.
Oh God, no.
It's true. It's really true.
Trust me, don't have an Alicorn C. The times when it can be used is few and far between. I noticed that the Brony Con has a Alicorn C, and I went, okay, that's acceptable. I can. It's for a convention. I'll let it go. But it's just kind of like, I'm the Alicorn of night sky, and I make galaxies in space. It's like, oh god.
I will admit,
If you want to be,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you want to be that little kid that gets beaten up every day, go ahead and use that Alicorn OC. I will find you and I will beat you.
It's just the problem of it's the understanding of Alicorns are special. They have, this entire thing. They're only used for very specific like situations, and things like that. And everybody else is not one, and then making, a character that is one, you have to really justify okay, why are you so damn important?
It's Mary Sue. It's OP. Like, anybody that's a role player knows those people.
Yeah.
I did find one Alicorn I really found fun. Of course, it was made to make fun of Alicorns. I think her name was Princess Pretty Pants. She was blue. Her wings had gotten cut off at one point, so she had a jetpack. And she was friends with the entire main six, more powerful than Luna, Celestia, and Chrysalis put together. And she was so powerful, she had to keep one of those little smiley ball things you put on the back of your car antenna on the tip of her horn to keep her from blowing up the world.
What?
Best OC.
Best OC.
Best OC.
Oh my God.
There you go. That actually works really well into another question that we're gonna have. I think a little further on. So, okay. And as for the Tubi Awards,
Awesome.
that seems pretty cool. I don't think there's much more to say on that. Okay. Rommel, if you will grab the green.
Okie dokie, apple cider. I mean, wait, cider. Yeah.
That's me. You're good.
No, I thought you were Chef Sandy for a second. It's like,
No, not Chef Sandy. Still apple cider.
okay, just checking.
I could invoke Sandy though. Howdy, y'all. How's it going? I'm Chef Sandy. Woohoo! Cowboy hat. So.
Good.
Yep.
All right. Dear Princess Apple Cider and Chef Sandy, see what I did there? Sorry. First, let me get the mandatory yet deserving thank yous out of the way. You guys rambling about ponies really helped me out when I was but a fledgling brony a year back. I was trying to sort out the whirlwind of emotions invoked that this show tends to invoke. My question is about the change of tone that can be observed from one season to another. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has taken note of Season 2's increased focus on visual gags and cultural references. Since no two showrunners are the same, changes like these are only natural, and now it seems we are facing yet another change with Megan McCarthy taking over the story side of things. From the things I've heard, such as Emma Larson's tweet on how Megan has plans and the writers' panel she was on, I got the feeling she's not only taking over Rob Brinzetti's role as story editor, but also Dawn's part of Lauren Faust's mantle as head of the series. To me, this is a huge deal that could mean great things for the show, and it's something I feel deserves way more attention than what I've been hearing from the community, which is almost nothing. Which is why I would like to hear your take on it. How do you feel about about McCarthy taking over the show? And do you think we will see a noticeable change in narrative or atmosphere? Will we see more slice of life style episodes, or will ponies go crazier than ever? Let the speculations begin. Here's faithful listener / Candlelight.
I think that we're gonna see the formula that they've had so far. I think has worked well for them. Of the hey, we have kind of one-off episodes, but they feed into each other. You have Rainbow Dash reading a book, and then later episodes reading more books. I think that all of us appreciated that, where it didn't seem like season 1 where things happened. It was just like, yeah, that episode happened, whatever next. That actually was some form of a continuity. As for, I do agree. And I think that, McCarthy might be taking up the kind of Foss role as kind of the world builder on this. I think that, we haven't seen what's going to happen with that. So it's only time will tell how that's going to actually play out.
And has anyone else seen the Twitter post by Megan McCarthy? She just has a Batman mask on, and she made some kind of MLP reference. I think that Batman was editing MLP now.
Oh, there you go.
So we're.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just thinking, if we're going off like the latest Batman, then just all the ponies are going to be talking like this now.
Cut the caber. We gotta stop Bane. I haven't even seen the newest one. That's all I've heard about. I don't know. I mean, it could be very cool. I mean, it's to the extent that Megan is far more talks to the fandom a lot more than Faust did. So we have at least that benefit to it of we know she's on our side. Though she is, they are going to definitely still keep the things. Remember, this is a show for kids, and we're not going to. As much as I'm sure that Shamrock would enjoy it, I'm not sure we're going to have war ponies too much.
I would love to see a Luna Celestia episode, though. It needs to happen.
Yes,
it needs to happen. It needs to happen.
And Scootaloo. I positively need Scootaloo.
Scootaloo, Applejack needs hers, and. Yeah, I think if they were able to delve back and do a history episode, we'd all just be like, oh, that explains everything.
Oh, God.
Oh,
God. The bad on.
Just like Celestia only. Like zero, like literally no other ponies. I just want a Celestia Luna episode with no other ponies. I just want to see what would happen.
A Sisterhood social with those two.
What if they had a singing duet?
Echo picture.
Cool.
Yeah, the one where they're just showing up at Sisterhood Social, just like, uh-oh.
And everybody's like, oh, shit. Here we go.
This is going to go bad. Flies around the course. Done. Magic everything. Oh, alicorns are too OP.
Teleports.
Alicorns.
Just floats the eggs out. All right. So, yeah, I mean, it's totally can be cool. I mean, I think all of us are, not only are we waiting to see what happens with the Megan, taking the mantle on that, I think all of us are simply waiting for season 3. So, it's all just a big waiting game at this point.
Yep.
All right.
Go
ahead. No, hit it.
I was just going to say, hopefully nobody passes away before the airing of season 3, because that would be quite tragic.
Oh, that would be. Why'd you bring that up? Now it's bummer time.
Oh. I'm sorry.
All right. Sorry. I'll move forward here. This is a big email that I cut down a little bit because there was some talk about Brony fanfare. I know that that DJ, you were there if you want to extrapolate a little, but I know that a lot of what has been said, Sandy said yesterday, or said last episode, so... let me do this. Hello there, Apple Cider, Chef Sandy, Starry Night, and any pony else on the show, commentators, iPod listeners, myself if I am listening, and any of the fellow bronies who happen to be listening. Wow, they covered all the bases. I go by the names Rextel, or Ritex, there we go, and Flare Dancer, and I have been listening to your podcast since the episode with the German titles that meant friendship is piracy. I would just like to compliment your style, your organization, and in general, the podcast itself. Keep up the good work. I would just like to say that I was at Brony Fanfare myself and accidentally asking for apple cider instead of Sandy. You have my apologies for that if you're offended. You may or may not have seen me. I was the one with the 4 or 5 Doctor Who Hooves cosplayers, a David Tennant one, complete with the psychic paper and sonic screwdriver, if that narrows it down. And I'm surprised to learn that Fee Cereal and Company were there as well. I noted your criticisms about the con, and I do agree that we Texans, or in my case, Oklahomian, who is forced to live in the middle of nowhere, Texas, aka Wichita Falls, deserves better. A little squiggly line, because a lot of talk about Brony fanfare. Brony fanfare aside, allow me to pose you guys and Starry a question. You may or may not be fans of the Kingdom Hearts games, but they themselves are not the point. The point is one of the popular fanfiction known as Those Lacking Spines. For those of you that do not know what it is, check up on it on TV Tropes, and I will laugh as it ruins your life, because it's probably the best place to check it out, even with the side effects. Essentially, it's all about the 3 characters that venture into the worlds of Fandom Hearts, a place where all fan fiction takes place. While it happens, they seamlessly mock and deconstruct bad fan fiction themes and the like, attempting to illustrate what they look like done well, except in the case of Mary Sue. That one's never justified under any circumstance, as well as when not done not well. You may be asking, what's the point? Well, all answers have been phrased in the form of a question. What would your reaction be if you saw a similar fic set up in the MLP-verse, one that shamelessly deconstructs and mocks bad mistakes of noob writers in the hopes of making sure they never make them mistakes again, and being rather preachy about it all the while? Thanks for reading my mail. Hopefully this ends up on the show. Your friendly neighborhood Ritex. Ho ho, see what I did thar, Flare Dancer. P.S. I would like to step on the soapbox from feeling peaky keen for a moment. The fans really need to learn how to spell and pronounce words properly. I mean, seriously. Everywhere I turn, people are saying things like Applejack is best pony. I don't know why it's so hard to grab a dictionary, not Sweetie Belle or Apple Bloom, and use it properly to spell Rainbow Dash. Heck, even Scootaloo would make a better dictionary than the ones the rest of the fans are using. Lots of words.
Lots of words.
So I think the main thing, I don't know if you want to extrapolate a little bit there for BFF, Shammy.
Okay. Yeah, like, my opinion is that first year con, first of all, like 3 times the number they were expecting, or more, or whatever. I think that they could have done a hell of a better job of preparing and organizing and staying organized during the con, but all things considered, given all of the amounts of shitty situations we got put in, I felt like the actual con staff did okay. And I feel like the guests, we we pulled through. I thought, I had a lot of fun. I was busy the whole time doing stuff, but I tried to help sort of pick up whatever slack was dropped by keeping people distracted. I remember mentioning in the panel, I was like, it's my job to distract you guys while other things are happening. That's why I'm there, is to keep your eyes on me. So I had tons of fun, and I hope that the attendees did, even though a lot of them didn't get into stuff. They'll do better next year.
Yep, and I already know that in the area that Sandy is already reaching out to his particular con staff people and looking to make another con, maybe even along the times of Halloween. I probably shouldn't say that out loud since it's not approved yet, but whatever. I said it.
He said it.
Whatever.
I approve. Whatever.
Yep, so whatever. As for something that makes fun of things on the MLP verse, I do know that there's a fanfic that is kind of your Mystery Science Theater 3000 for fic, that is on FemFiction. I forget where you find it, but there is that kind where it's a whole bunch of people reading through a fic and just kind of making pokes and prods at it. And there was one I had as a featured fic a while back, which was a fic about cheerily going around town and everybody assuming that she was in a relationship with everyone, kind of making fun of the habit that the fandom has of trying to ship every pony with every other pony. Where it's just like, oh yeah, you and Derpy are going out, right? No, what? Why would you think that? Oh, you were talking to her for 5 minutes. Like that's the grounds for being in a relationship now? It's just a small conversation. So it was Yeah, I think that stuff like that it can has its points. I think being a little bit too brutal can, definitely be bad if you're just, if it is to the point of grammar Nazis. Not everyone is a proficient writer, but I think that there could be some room for that. Anything you guys know on that, or shall we move on to our last email? Forward.
Onwards to victory.
All right, Shammy, wrap us up here.
Alrighty. Hello, Apple Cider Chef Sandy, Starry Night, and no doubt astounding guests of the week. Let me get the mandatory praise out of the way by saying I love this wonderful podcast. I love hearing you being your silly selves as you talk all about this crazy fandom. It really makes my week and helps an isolated brony like me feel more connected to the community. But enough trying to earn my brown-nosing cutie mark and into my question. I, like many a brony, I'm sure, have been looking at the pony content being made by artists like Tetra Pony and have been struck by inspiration. I love to put up drawings of my own for others to enjoy, but with stick figures being the limit of my abilities, I feel I need to improve. My question is this: where can I find groups of artists willing to help a newbie out and push me to keep working past my procrastinating streak? Bonus points if you have tips for finding groups to meet in person other than meetup.com. Couldn't find any in the Norfolk area. You're a loyal listener, Burner Barrel, I believe. Favorite pony is Dr. Who's, a pony time lord. How can you top that? Favorite episode is Canterlot Wedding. Yes, Brohoof to Stormy Seas from a fellow Navy Brony. And that sort of works out for me, too, because I am a sort of former fellow Navy Brony, so...
Whoa!
Oh!
Last episode, I'm not sure if you heard, but Stormy Sea sent us the challenge coin that he had from his ship. That was very cool. We got 2 of those for Sandy and I. I was like, sweet! They're awesome.
That's awesome. That's legit.
Yeah. So let's see. The artists. So trying to figure out how to get into doing art, especially locals. I mean, if there's a meetup.com, maybe you can suggest a artist meet. I mean, if there is, I know that the New York or the metropolitan New York area, I suppose it's Norfolk, New York, has a meetup, and so you could suggest one and be like, hey, it's an artist meetup. We're just going to do an art jam or something like that, for local stuff. But I don't know of any that's just a specific meetup for artists just to get together and jam it up. I know that there are tons of communities for pony drawing, but I'm like not the best person to try and remember what those are.
I'm pretty terrible at that too. Like I talk, I don't draw. 2 very different things. But like DeviantArt, just like look around at pony groups on DeviantArt. I'm sure there are groups there that have people who would be more than happy to help people out, sort of instructional wise. And hey, go to meetups and cons and stuff, and like just bring a sketch pad and just act like you know what you're doing. And if you run into other, usually they group together, it seems like. So if you start drawing, like someone else will start drawing, and then you can just kind of move over and be like, hey, teach me, and maybe they'll freak out, but maybe they won't. So, it's a 50-50.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's like academies and stuff like that. As I said, I'm sadly lacking right now, but I'm sure we've had some people suggest it before. I mean, reach out to someone like Tetra, or he's in our chat right now. And they could just go over to Tetra Pony, and he has his little blog, and send him a request and be like, hey, where's a good place to get started? And there's plenty of like pony tutorials of just like, hey, here's how you draw it, here's a color scheme if you want to color, and Tetra just says, I'm just a message away. So he is happy to talk to you if you have suggestions. Cue 100 messages to Tetra on how to draw. So
on how to art.
Cue Tetra drowning in internet mail. So there you go. That's probably what I'll have to suggest there. So yeah, and that's your best bet, especially for that. Okay, let's move forward. That's our emails for this week. Remember, you can email across to us at bronyville@gmail.com, and we can, if the email is good, not too long, and is a nice topic for us to talk about, we will bring it up on the show. It's time for 5-star iTunes Bronies. This is the awesome people that decide to leave us a review on iTunes. We're currently at 717 ratings. And we can give you a big thanks if you leave a written rating. So thank you to Super Ghost, Peanut Crunch, 5 Iron Brony, and Time Lord Zero for leaving written reviews. Also, I decided to give some Aussie love for those in Australia. There is 52 ratings, so thank to Aiden Sohinder, Color of 3, Dr. Hawes, Who Flung Show? That might be Snow, I don't know. Who Flung Show? Okay, and Ember Firemane and Lightning Hoof for your recent written reviews. As for donations, ho cheese, you guys really like buttons. Like we said, hey, free buttons with $5 donations, and you guys came through, a ton of you. So just so you know, what I'm going to do is for these email addresses that did donate, I will send you a email that will direct you to a forum or to a forum. Please include the information. If you are domestic, just include the top information for U.S. domestic. If you are international, there will be a form at the bottom. For international addresses, please include name, address, city, all the usual stuff, and country, so I can make sure to ship those out to you. But the names for those that donated across to his, and I'm going to mangle some of these, so just so you know. Thanks to J. Bernier, J. Colari, O. Calviro, A. Bragrund, N.J. Hamberlet, J. Varakis, M. Holland, E. Palchik, C. Smith, F. Carnelys, A. Simshinzvin, E. Siegel, N. Shaw, M. Pretorius, M. Call, A. Arsenhall, M. McNary, L. Chermak, J. Doity, D. Willis, J. Simmons, N. Nikolai, H. Navarrete, D. Jacobs, R. McCalb, H. Varkas Jr., D. Anthony, A. Zanal, M. Carney, E. Gerald, R. Montgomery, and P. Erdenley. So thank you very much for donating across to us. That was so many names. Thank you for giving donation. It helps refill our coffers, keeps this show going, and that is super cool. I'll be sending out buttons very, very soon, so you guys can enjoy those. So yeah, thank you very much. Donation for this week, we will do another contest. The donation, $5 gets you in. If you are international, I may have to request $10 this week. Because this will be a little bit larger. If you had seen, I have Paris stress balls. I have these cute little smiley Paris sprites that we had printed and were sold at Everfree Northwest, and they come in 6 colors: red and orange and yellow and pink and blue and another blue, and I might have missed a color, but I forget. And they are super, super cute, super cool. I can send one to you, $5 donation, put you in a drawing. I will be giving away 3. So I will suggest those across. So please send across a $5 donation or more, if you so wish, or 10 if you are international. You can find that over at BronyShow.com, BronyShow.com or BronyvillePodcast.com. Leave a donation across on there, and we can get you a super squeezable little smiley Paris Sprite that you can love and hold and enjoy. So please do that. Just donate across to us and keep this show going. And here we are. We're finally at the end. One cool thing time. It's time for us to wrap up the show, and in that way, we need to tell you one awesome thing that you can do to check out that I think, or we think that you're going to enjoy. I have 2 links this week. The first one is Rhythm is Magic Remix Apple, or as I have it, Remix Apple 3. It's a continuation of the Rhythm is Magic series that has been done by one of the members of the the Double Rainboom group, and it is super cool. Just the very much Rhythm Heaven mixed with ponies. It is then featuring all your favorite ponies all together. So go check that out. The link is in the show notes. The other one is the Children of the Night teaser trailer. This is actually the first time I've noticed about this, but someone is making kind of another small episode animation, and this one is very cool because I kind of like the style. It's not 100% show style because of some of the animation choices they're making, and it looks like we're going to have Luna singing. So
Yes.
That needs to happen.
Hocus Pocus. Oh, okay, singing the Hocus Pocus song. Interesting.
I don't know if it's actually.
Oh, okay.
It's
All right.
readapted.
It's a readapted version of one of the songs from Hocus Pocus. She's trying to convince little children to go and like stay with her so that she can make a new kingdom or something like that. So yeah, it'd be very, very cool. It looks neat. There's a little teaser trailer. So go check that. I've got those links in the show notes. You can find those attached to every episode's information over at bronyshow.com or bronyvillepodcast.com. Shamrock, you actually gave us a link.
Yes, I put a thing. There's a deal and a thing. It's a link.
What's the thing? Explain it.
It's a thing. It links to DeviantArt. But it's this little. I actually changed it mid-show too. Even at first, I just had this picture, and I was sort of like still scrolling through my newest updates. I was like, this is kind of funny. So it's the best I could do. It's Rainbow Dash. She's flipping a table. It's an animation, so I thought it was kind of lolsy.
Oh, let me see it. I gotta click this then. It's like Flash. Does it make any noise?
No, it does not make any noise.
Okay, let me see.
Not that I'm aware of.
Dash staring at a computer. Grumble. Table flip. I do actually I enjoy those table flip animations. The one that's just like Twilight or even like Lyra, where they literally have the table like halfway up and they just have this look of extreme displeasure of just like I love those pictures so much.
It's kind of lolsy. Like it's not too over the top or anything. You just kind of watch it and you're like, she's just staring at a computer, and then she's like, she just flipped it over, you know? It's like,
and then she's so happy she does it.
Yeah.
So, yep. All right, that's cool. Dashy table flips. All right, Tortilla, what you got?
I don't have anything quite as fancy as any of your videos, but I have a picture of Luna that Pixel Kitties drew. It's Gamer Luna in Borderlands 2, and it's just Luna and Pipsqueak just standing there, Luna just blazing away with a gun. That's kind of neat looking.
Oh my god, Borderlands 2. Holy shit.
Yeah, and the little
you just reminded
trap.
me why I hate my life right now.
Because you don't have Borderlands 2?
Because you're not playing Borderlands 2?
Because it's not out yet, yes.
I still gotta like finish.
God, this is so good.
I still gotta like finish games. I've still gotta like what do I still have on my plate? I unfortunately started playing Persona 3, so I won't be playing any other video games for the next 6 months.
Man.
Oh wow. Yeah, you're gonna be busy a while.
Yeah, all the social links, dude. All the social links.
My friend and I both bought the ultimate, like, huge box editions of Borderlands 2 before they sold out, and, yep, we're gonna be waiting in line for, like, 5 hours before it's released and stuff, so it's gonna be a huge party.
I'm just going bad on Steam. Actually, no, you know what I still need to play, and I just haven't done it because I've broken Starry's machines twice now, is that, I need to, I really want to play Darksiders, the new Darksiders 2, and I just haven't been able to play it yet. So I've got to get through that before I get to Borderlands.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. That's super cool. And to finish it up, Rommel, what you got? What's this YouTube link? I'm not going to click it because it's going to make noise.
Oh, it's where the hell is Matt? I don't know if you guys ever heard of that at all.
Nope.
Are you familiar with it?
Nope. Explain it, sir.
It is a gentleman who travels around the world and does this very little silly dance in front of various landmarks and groups of people. And then recently he's like been organizing into massive like dance flash mobs in various parts of the world. Like one of them, which I was really surprised about, was him actually dancing in North Korea. And I was like, whoa, how did you get into North Korea?
How are you
As an
dancing
American?
there?
There are ways. The easiest I understand is going in from China.
Oh, he does every year. I only did.
Yeah, I thought he only did this like once, but I guess
No,
he does
he's done
do
it
it.
in 2008 and now 2012.
Ah,
Okay.
there we go. He's just rocking it out there in North Korea.
Now he's doing actual.
Yeah,
he's doing actual dance moves.
opposed to his like silly dance move that he was forcing everyone to do back when he was first starting.
He's copying.
Yeah, look at that. He's just rocking it away.
Giggity. Oh god.
Venezuela. This guy travels a lot, and he just makes silly videos. I guess if you can, you do. Wow, that's a whole bunch of firemen dancing with him, and now he's underwater. Okay, there we go. That is just a silly dancing video, so go ahead and check that. That is our links for the week, so that's your dose of fun. And that's going to go ahead and wrap us up. We need to go ahead and let you guys get back to whatever you were doing or, whatever you want to do. So hope you all enjoyed it this week. First off, I want to go ahead and thank our guests. Thank you, Tortilla, and thank you, Rommel, for coming on, talking about all the awesome stuff that you guys are doing over there. Good luck with
Thank you very much. Thank you. With pleasure having you.
Hey, and hoping to hear more things for you. We need to work on something with you guys. I don't know. We've been a little passive. We need to figure out something in the future. So we'll reach out to you once we got something new. Uh oh.
This is an idea.
Did I just commit my something? Uh oh.
So
Wheels are.
all right. So this will be the first time that I'll be talking about this publicly. But there's a few people within the fandom, I won't tell you who've been talking about doing a massive TF to like charity donation event, and this is how it would work. The basic framework of it is we have teams of like different groups of individuals representing different parts of the fandom, whether it be radios, whether it be media, whether it be charities, whether it be musicians, artists, everything. So all of them would like be put together to teams, and all these different teams would compete against each other in like a TF2 tournament. And the goal, like overall goal of the whole event, is to kind of generate funds for a given charity of choice. We haven't decided on the charity. It is like very much in like the very preliminary planning stages, but it's an idea that would be really cool if we could find a way to implement it. And we're trying to right now work out the structure on everything. But that's the basic idea we have going. So you could see like Mike the Microphone, Alex S. Makkon, or other those guys just like competing against like myself and Master Tortilla or like any other BFG people like a match. And maybe we could like compete for different prizes or to just help like compete for a specific goal or something. We don't know. We haven't like worked it all out completely yet, but that's the general idea. What do you guys think?
That would be fun. I love TF2. I know that Sandy enjoys it as well. And as son of Mr. Peanut says, there's no backing out now. That just make me sour cider. So we'll have to see once that progresses a little more. So, but thanks you guys for coming on. Good to hear about how the charity is doing. And I also made a bunch of notes so I can take this to my friends tomorrow and be like, do you know they made $79K and they've built like orphanages? Bam.
Yeah. Oh, one thing, since I did pitch the idea, if anybody in the chat, on the stream, or in the recording, whoever listens to it, wants to send us any ideas that they may have, you can do that to broniesforgood@gmail.com, and then you can help be a part of the planning.
Yeah, I think doing some of the man versus machine stuff with a bunch of the guys would actually be really cool.
I agree. Yeah,
that would be fun. I've been playing a bunch of that, and then just getting frustrated when none of the group seem to know what to do. All right. Also want to thank Shamrock. Thank you for coming on and being my replacement, Sandy, this week.
Oh, thank you for having me on. It's been a blast.
Hope you've had a good time, sir, and thank you for having us over there on your service, playing a whole bunch of radio and, just offering up all of our little crazy audio on the stream there. And you can get it first there, well, opposed to, listening to it live.
Right.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much, sir. So let's go down the list. BronyShow.com or BronyvillePodcast.com is where you can find us. If you want to go ahead and check out our site, Bronyville@gmail.com is where you can send emails. You should join us roughly every Saturday, noon Pacific Daylight Time at JustinTV/BronyvillePodcast. iTunes reviews, leave us them. If you leave a written review, we will include your name for that week. So please, please, please do it. We're getting up there. If we only had like double, we'd be above like This American Life and all those other big names. What do you think about that, huh? If you want to listen to the show live as it comes out, live as it comes out as in with a whole bunch of silly fillies in the Celestia radio chat room, you can totally do that on Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or 11 p.m. UTC, if that is your flavor. Twitter, you can follow me over at Bronyville, and Chef Sandy is at Chef Sandy. Hey guys, what are your Twitter handles? Starting with Shamrock.
Well, I use the Celestia Radio one, so at Celestia Radio.
All right, and do you two? Do you just want to go ahead and give the Bronies for Good at Bronies for Good? That work?
Yep.
All right,
at
cool.
Bronies for Good.
All right, and meetup groups. I have the Bronies of Northern California and North Texas Bronies as Sheffers. And conventions, I'm removing that out because both those are either old or ones we're not going to. That's simple enough. All right, and that handles us for episode number 72. Thank you again for all of our wonderful listeners and those that are in the chat room. We love doing this every week, and we love bringing Pony all across the nation, all across the world, to you that want to talk about this crazy show. Hopefully soon we can talk about season 3.
Oh my god.
You can't see my icon, but it is literally a skeleton laying over a computer saying, waiting for the next season of My Little Pony.
True.
God.
See, it's a comment from earlier.
It is, but it's totally true. I got it off of My Little Face Win. So
Indeed.
it's yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and catch you next week. It's going to be 73, but this has been episode number 72. We'll go ahead and catch all you ponies next week. There's no tabletop after the stream because I have to fix a machine. Anyway, we will go ahead and catch you guys next week. Sleep well, every pony. Audio. I gotta do it. I gotta.
Bye.
Uh,